Everyone, and welcome to Only the Facade. This is not Only the Facade. Welcome to Dream House, Season 1, Episode 4. I am so excited to be back this week. We are going to be focusing on finishing up adding windows to my dream home. So we started to lay out really big curtain walls and other windows. And it's been over a week since we've been live, so I have to get familiar with my project again and where we left off, but it looks like we only did the front facade, adding windows and curtain walls, and we're gonna probably try and wrap that up today in terms of all the windows and large curtain walls. So I'm going to prop up my Instagram. Again, if you want to have a full access view, I'm live streaming my screen to my YouTube, and that is always the best quality. The replays live there and they live on Instagram as well. So basically we have these two curtain walls. If you're unfamiliar with the project, this is the first floor. You enter to the foyer. There's two offices over here, a toilet, a little closet, a bench, and we have this open kitchen dining situation with these stairs, and this is like the living room. We have this multi-glide Anderson pocket door, and then this is just a curtain wall. Then we have our stairs that go upstairs to the second floor. This is open to below. And then we have a guest room, the guest bathroom, we have the washer dryer, and then we have the master suite. So we have a bathroom, and then we have a walk-in closet. So that's essentially the layout of the house. We started laying out the doors and the back wall last week or 2 weeks ago, and then we are putting in general areas of curtain wall. So now if I go to the 2D elevation, you can see that a lot of what I was doing was fast and quick, and I therefore was not making these proportionally equal. So I'm going to want them to look similar. I'm going to edit this curtain wall that I currently have. If I hit tab, I should be able to pick up on it. And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hit edit profile. So once we do that, then I can adjust this. I want it to be 1 foot from the rake, which is the overhanging roof portion right here. And I am going to type in 1 foot in the active dimension. Now, it looks like I have about 2 feet on either side here. In terms of that, I think I'm going to do, let me make 1 foot on this side. All right. I think it would make sense to bring this in. I'm not sure how close these two windows below are then gonna get, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do 1'6" so that we are in a middle ground between this and this. So this is 2 feet, and then this is 1'2", so let's make it 1'6". For some reason I'm not selecting that dimension because I'm not selecting that purple line. I think it worked now, and I should be able to pick up on the active dimension. All right. It was a little weird, but we got it in the end. And 1'6" on this side as well. And then I'm just gonna erase some of these extra dimensions. So I'm going to use the AL tool, align, and I'm going to align the edges of my windows to my curtain wall. Now we're going to go to this side. I'm going to tab to select the curtain wall, hit edit profile, and then I'm going to do the same thing and change this to 1'6". It is not selecting that purple line, which is why the dimension is not becoming active. See, all these are not active. It's because it's not selecting this sketch, which is really weird. Let me remove the constraints and see. Okay, I was able to pick up on it that time. It was a little bit tricky. I'm gonna move that off the line, and that makes it easier for us to actually just select it on the first try. So now I can delete all these. I'm going to do the AL tool. I'm going to align that curtain wall and that curtain wall. And that looks good. I like the look of it. This has to be up high because we have a shelf and a ceiling there. So I'm just going to make sure the sides are aligned to the edge of the side lid of the door. And then I'm going to delete these dimensions because I don't need them anymore. So again, this is the kitchen. This is the master. This is a master, this is the guest, and this is the office. So I am actually going to go to the first floor, and I am going to see if maybe these windows look good mirrored on the other side. No, I don't want it to be symmetrical. I take that back. I don't want it to be symmetrical, so I'm going to keep it how it is, even though I feel like the office, I guess you could put a desk here, and then you could look out, because how you can't put a desk straight up against a curtain wall, but I think we can put a desk over here. Let's see, a work table maybe it's called. I have so many different desks and workstations loaded in. All right, that one doesn't show up. I don't know why it's not showing up. Must be off in the view. Yep, so furniture was turned off in this view, and I just went and clicked on the little light bulb, and I can now do unhide category, and all the furniture will show up if I want it to. So let's see if I can edit this. I don't want there to be a panel, but I'm not really concerned with the interior right now. We know there's going to be a desk here. That's all we need to know for the moment. And there'll probably be a desk here. And we'll be looking outside. So now if I go back to the self elevation, I am going to start adding curtain grids. So I'm going to add one right there. And then I'm going to add one in the middle. And then I'm going to do DI, which is the dimension tool. And I'm going to select the bottom and I'm going to select the top. And I'm going to click on the mullion tool and I'm going to click the curtain grids and apply mullions to them. And then once that's done, I'm going to shift this curtain grid to be in the corner. And then it causes a little bit of a weird join right there, but it fixes it. So then I'm going to do the equal and make sure that's centered in between. And then I'm going to delete it and unconstrain it so I can move it again if I choose to. I'm going to use the AL tool now and I'm going to align that to this one. And then I'm going to align this to this. So I like the way that looks. I think what I'm going to do to make this more versatile is I'm actually going to change the exterior mullions to make them thicker. So right now they're all 2 inches by 4 inches, and they're measuring 2 inches wide this way. It is not dimensioning it for some reason, but I know that this is 2 inches. Oh, it's 1 inch. That's weird. It must be labeled in here wrong. Yeah. So it is only 1 inch thick. What I'm going to do for the exterior is I'm going to click on the entire curtain wall, and for the border I'm going to change it to be 2.5, which makes it a little bit thicker, and then the ones on the inside are going to look more delicate. So once I do this, it should update all of them, and it did, but that is not set to be black, so I'm going to tab, unpin, so then I need to go into the actual edit type of the mullion itself, and now I need to apply the correct color to it so that it looks like all the other ones. All right, so now we have our exterior, and it is thicker than the ones on the interior. They are not looking too much different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2.5 one, and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to make it 3.5. And then we're going to do 1.5, or we're going to do 3/4, and then we're going to do 1 3/4 here. And that should make it 3.5. I think it's adding both the widths in the curtain grid family instance creation that we were just doing. Because everything is black, let me change this to hidden line. Now I should be able to pick up on the dimensions better. Yeah, so now I have 3.5. Basically, you have to create the width on one side and the width on the other side to be half of whatever you want your total face width of the mullion to be. So if you see 3.5 inches, you know that in your dimensions with side 2 and side 1 is going to be half of 3.5. So in this case, it's 1 3/4. And I think that is a good proportion to the ones in the center. I am going to go back into the curtain wall family now, and I'm going to go back and change all of these borders to now be that new one that I've created. And we can see that all of them have updated. If it didn't update, it's because it wasn't pinned. And basically that if it's pinned, it takes on the properties that I've assigned to that family instance. So when we were in edit type and we were editing the border types, if it's not pinned, you can change it. But if it is pinned, when you change it in edit type, it won't automatically update. You'll have to pin it. So this is what we have. Let's put it back to shaded. It's looking pretty good. I want to swivel to the back of the house because I really want to start creating that 2-story curtain wall in the living room that I have pictures and examples of from the very beginning. Let me see if I can pull them up really quickly. So I have a whole folder of inspiration for my dream house, and this is just basically the style that I love, with the 2-story kitchen, living room, and the stairs floating in it with the 2-story curtain wall, and then that walkway up top. That theme shows up over and over again, and then sort of that open concept. I have a lot of that going on in my plan as well. And then this is what I really want the structure on the inside to look like. So when I start building out the structure and going back to the inside after we have all of the big windows in place, we're going to get into some of these details. I might even get ceiling fans because I know I've used ceiling fans, 3D models of them before, and I definitely want to add as much detail as I possibly can because this is my dream house. So yeah, this is a little kitchen inspiration. This is inspiration from the exterior of the house. I really want to try and do this facade where it is beveling out. I think that's what I want to call it. It's beveling. Just the way this looks is so elegant to me. The way that it is extruded out and then at an angle it goes back and meets the glass. Right now in our model we just have a flat face, but this is where I want to take it down the line once we've gotten in all of our other windows and elements that we have to work through. That's a door I really liked. Just more of the triangle house and the mullions and more structure, but that is some of the inspiration. This I want to be in the back of the house, so we just actually pivoted to the back of the house right now, and I want to start adding in these little windows and dormers because I really want this to be in the back hallway. I think it's so cute. It adds a little bit of like this traditional element to the modern house, and I'm obsessed with it. So I'm going to put that over to the side now, and we're going to get back to modeling. So as I said before, if I go to the second floor, I really want to put some of those windows in, and they're all single windows. So let's see, we can do casement series single. And then I'm going to pop these in here because I know I want 3. And then I'm going to just dimension them so I can space them out evenly. All right. And I'm going to go to edit type and I'm going to rename these. Let's see. I don't know what size I want to make them first, so I got to look at that. They are pretty low to the ground. Actually, 3'10" is a pretty good sill height for a hallway, so that means I can make them really tall because we're also gonna have little dormer here. Maybe we only have room for 2 dormers. Our space is a lot smaller, so I feel like we only have room for 2. I'm gonna have to respace them. It's okay. One will be like around there, one will be around there, and then we'll have a dormer above each of them. They're gonna have to be pretty tall because the dormer is gonna pop up into this a little bit. It might look funny. Maybe we'll put these at 4 feet. All right, we should add a dormer cut into it. Add the little dormers on the roof plan. All right, we have the roof. We only want 1 sloping. Oops. And I only want the width of the window. I don't know if the width of the window is going to grow yet. We'll see. And let's see what this looks like. All right. So we know this can definitely be thinner. So let's make it 4 inches. Okay. And let's just make it pop just a little bit. let's just adjust this pitch so that this pitch currently is a 9. That's sort of what Revit is just set to, and I'm just going to leave it because we already designed these windows around it, and I think it looks good for what we're doing here. I'm not sure if I would like it if a steeper pitch. Like, we can check 10. I think a 9 is where it's at. Did everything move with it? That's cool. Yeah, so this one moved with it, which was pretty interesting. But I'm gonna keep it at a 9. I think that a 9 gives us a good roof surface and a good peak. It's not too drastic. So this one, right now, if we use the roof join tool, it's probably going to go all the way to the top. Yeah, it doesn't even reach. So let's change this to be a 6. And now we can see that it's starting to go into the roof. So let's do the roof join tool. And it joins pretty seamlessly now. I want to see what the proportions look like. So I need to go to the second floor plan and adjust these now because there's only 2 of them. All right. Well, let's adjust the width. The width is 2. Let's make the width 3 and let's make the height 7. I don't know if that's going to be an awkward window, but we're going to see. It's going to need to be narrow and tall, which is a lot like the picture as well. And I don't think we have any grills in the front. No, we took all the grills of the house out, which is again what we'll be doing here, but we're just adjusting it right now. So that looks about good. I think we should go to the second floor. And we should make this 4, and we should make this 4. Maybe even spread them out a little bit more. I don't know, because the dormers, I don't want the dormers to go into these valleys right here in the roof. So let's go back to the roof plan, adjust the footprint of this. Let's do wireframe so I can see the window below it. Because again, I want it to be the same width as the window, only I want it to be offset like 4 inches. Oh, I don't know why that did that. Literally 4 inches. Okay, I don't know if that was 4 inches, I can't tell. Making me measure and check. Yeah. So we have 4 inches on either side. I'm not sure if that's too much. Okay. That looks pretty good. I'm going to copy this over. Center to center. We're going to change these windows to be called 3x7. And then we're going to change the color so that those also show up as the black that all the other windows have. We're also going to get rid of the pattern and the lights we have going on. Alright, so the exterior is set to white. Let's change that to black. Oops. I think one of my favorite parts about designing is designing the exterior. I really like a good exterior. I like adding windows and doors and picking out all of those details. And then my materials that I'm using, that I've created, that I use over and over, I just put an A in front of, so then I can just easily get to them in every project because I use the same template. There we go. They instantly look like so much more modern with nothing in between them. I'm like almost tempted to have one just because these have one. I don't know. The back is looking good now too, and I like the way that dormer is looking. Let's go to our dormer tool. So we're going to select the dormer tool. That was a mouthful. We're going to select the dormer tool. We're going to select the roof. And then we're going to select the edges. So I'm not actually sure if I can do this without walls, but we're about to find out. So I don't know if I can pick up. Yeah, I think I need to put walls where the dormers are to select them. So I'm going to cancel out of this. We're going to go back to the roof plan, and we are going to do little walls that come up and act as our dormer. That's a curtain wall. We're going to want to change that to a generic wall, 2x4, 2x6. It's fine. It would be a 2x6, so we'll put the 2x6 there. We're gonna have to make it a 2x4 for now because it's sticking out beneath the roof. And the wall is really drastically big. Let's attach it to this. Go to roof. We're gonna need to make this an extra inch to cover it. So we gotta fix that one. Then we'll delete this and move this over as a unit. So let's mirror this on the window. Make sure it's looking good. All right, so we're gonna just wanna pull this back a little bit. And you can see that I've started to form that little pop-up dormer that we're going for. Oh, I just zoomed in on them, but this is basically what we're going for. And now that I'm looking at this house and they have little mullions on the windows, I don't know if I want to bring them back. I feel like my heart lies between clean and modern and like that little whimsical look that this house has. All right, so food for thought, but yeah, I don't know, maybe adding across some little mullions on these windows instead of having them be so clear. Back to the dormer though. So now that we have these little stub walls here, basically what it's going to allow us to do is you'd bring them back. Yeah, I think that's a good option. I feel like it adds character to the house. Yeah, it adds character. That's so funny. All right, well, I'm going to bring them back, but after I do this dormer, because I've already been distracted a few times, I am going to go to the dormer tool, which is right here, select the roof, and now we can select the edges based on the walls that I've created. So it's going to give us the outline of the dormer that we're cutting. So I gotta see if I can select this one up here. For some reason it's not selecting this back line. It's putting it up here and then I can't move it, which is annoying. And I know I don't need a wall back there because there wouldn't be a wall back there. But I guess that's where the opening is. So that's all it's gonna let me do. So now we're gonna do TR. We're just gonna trim the lines we've just highlighted to a box, and voila. We've just created our little dormer. So there definitely would be some wall up there. I'm gonna select this wall. So let me HH, I'm gonna hide that window temporarily. I'm gonna select this wall and I'm gonna attach it to the top of this roof now. So now you can see that that is going to the top of that dormer roof and my window is sitting inside of that. So it still looks a little bit funny, but we're going to, I forget if I have to move this over. I did this recently because the wall would really be sitting on top of this roof. So if I click on the dormer cut opening, which, let me find it, because you can actually find the cut and then edit the cut again, but you have to tab a few times. And sometimes it's a little bit tricky. Maybe if I go to the roof plan, I'll be able to get it. But basically I want to be able to make these walls sit on this roof. Alright, so there's the opening. Let's go to the 3D view. And I'm going to move this to the inside of the wall by just literally flipping it with that little arrow. And now, as you can see, there's the smallest section of wall there. And I'm going to raise up this dormer just a little bit more so that we have a little bit more wall, because I'm also then going to attach the bottom of the base. So attach wall is set to top automatically. You have to go up here and you have to change it to base. And then you can select this roof and see how now this exterior wall is sitting on this roof and it's connecting to this top of this as well. That is what it would look like. This has to be painted white, but of course that's what it would look like. It's the smallest little stub ever. I'm probably going to make the window just a little bit taller now. And it really cleans it up as opposed to the other side. I also think that this probably should have a little bit more of an overhang. So I'm going to go to the roof plan because I'm going to copy this over essentially, so I only have to do all of this once. And that's why I'm really making sure that I like this, because I don't want to have to fix it twice. So I'm going to do another inch. That would give us 6 inches total offset of the window. And then I'm going to look at it again in 3D. You know, it's not giving that subtle pop like the example. And it could be because their roof is actually a lot thinner. Like mine has like a thickness to the edge of it, and the image that I was looking at has like a really thin fascia. Like an oddly thin fascia. I don't know how they've achieved it. Alright, well, that is what it is. I'm going to make this actually a little bit smaller because I don't want it touching the side walls. So let's do 2.8 and see how that looks. We're also going to bring those mullions back to really bring the character back. I think that's a good size. It's a little bit of a good relief from the side of the walls. Okay, let's go back into edit type. Let's rename this. I always like to make sure that every time I'm changing the size of something, I update the name of it. Keep the consistency in place. Let's go to, I think, modified colonial as pattern 1, and then if I just do 2x2, this should work. 2 lights wide, 2 lights high. Yep, that's exactly what I was looking for. Alright, so this is what we look at when we have a 2D view. I really like the way that everything is looking. I want this to be a little bit taller, I think. So I'm going to do 7.4. 7.4 might be a little too tall. Maybe 7.2. Alright, so 7.4 actually looks pretty good. Now I'm going to copy all of this over. I won't be able to copy, I don't think I can copy the dormer cut over, but we might be able to copy everything else. So I'm going to quickly rename this 7.4. And then I'm going to copy everything over. So I am just doing CO, and I've selected the middle of this window. And now I'm going to move over to the middle of this window, and all that has copied over. I'm going to, again, attach the base of that wall. I'm going to attach the base of this wall. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to now create another dormer opening on the other side. I think what I'm going to do now that I see them next to each other is actually space them out a little bit more. So I'm going to select everything. I need to go to the roof plan itself just to make sure that I have the dormer opening selected. I think it might move with everything if I move it together. So let's do 4 inches. I think it moved it 4 feet instead of 4 inches, but it's okay. So we move it over 4 inches, and then we move this one over 4 inches, and I think that'll give them a good space in between them. Let's delete, delete, delete. I think that that looks good. There could be a little bit of roof that is coming down in front of these windows, so that's all looking good. All right, and then we want to just add in the dormer cut. So we're just gonna go again and pick all the edges. We're gonna pick the inside edges, and we're gonna pick that opening. And then we're gonna do TR for the trim tool. And there we go, we have our dormer. I'm going to select this wall again and have it attached to this roof. And then I'm going to select the paint tool, select white, and I'm going to paint these walls to match the exterior siding color that we're using. All right. So those dormers look amazing. So excited about them. And honestly, I don't know if I want this big curtain wall down here anymore. I think I want to do some transom windows or some windows like this. And I just want to put them in the center. I want to make sure the head height matches the door, so I'm going to do AL. And select the top of that and select the top of the window, hopefully. All right. And then let's go to the south elevation and make sure this is just centered, because I honestly don't know. Let's draw a line between those two windows. These are just detail lines. They're just my guidelines that I use. And then let's center this window. There. And I think that's pretty close to the outside edge of those windows. Look at that. All right, so let's add the detailing back to these ones. So Let's do 1, 2, 2. Great. And then let's go back to this one. And now that I'm adding these back in, I'm kind of like, okay, I need to add more in the big curtain wall, but I'm not sure yet if I want to do that just because I like it in the center and dividing the triangle at the top and then these pieces of glass at the bottom. So maybe next time after I've thought about it and like had time to sleep on it, if I come back and I still feel like it looks weird, I'll fix it and try and play around with it. But I think for now I'm going to leave it. I'm again just going back in and adjusting these windows. I'm going to add them to the side lights, I think, but not the doors. I'm not sure. And then like, do I feel like I have to add one here? I think so. Let's just see what it looks like. Looks pretty good. Let's add... I don't know if I just did that right, but we'll see. Good. Only they're white, so I need to fix those and make those black. So let's go to edit type. And just make sure the grills are set to be black. Alright, and I think that that's looking pretty good. Let's just throw some on the door. I don't know if I'll keep them there, but we're gonna see what it looks like. I'm definitely not loving that. I'm gonna keep it like that, I think. Alright, I wish we could see the back of it. Maybe we'll do this on the front as well. Let's go to roof and just sort of copy this over. I don't know, like, these windows are okay. They're not terrible. I feel like they do have to be closer together because of the dormers. 2, 3 in the front, you think? Maybe. I don't know if I should put the dormers on the back also in the front. I don't know. I know they're a lot taller in the back. It's because this is a hallway. And then I can't really do the tall ones because this is a shower and this is a countertop. So that only works because they're in the hallway. But maybe I take, I don't know. Maybe I do singles but not as tall in the back. 3 in the back, 3 in the front, I mean, I don't know. Oh, there's a freaking wall there, I forgot. That's why there's only 2. I don't know, I'm deleting these for now. Let me put this on the side. Because I don't want to lose that window. But it's in my way. A 2/3 light divide to make it look proportional. Oh, the tall one. I don't know if that is the right thing. Yeah. Alright. Now I'm just gonna copy it over and see what it looks like. Whoops, taking the whole roof. I'm taking the whole roof over. All right, let's see if I can mirror this. Let's see if I can mirror this. I don't know. This is risky. Hold on. I have a lot of things turned on, so I need to turn them off so it's cleaner. Let me do a DL design line so I can find the center of this. All right, let us select everything in a window. And let's mirror it on the axis. I'm probably going to have to bring the sills of these windows up, but the look will be the same. Yeah, I like the little dormer pop so much. I'm going to do it in the front and the back because this is my house, so I make up the rules. Also, it is actually pretty high up off the ground. 4 feet, that's clearing the counter at least. It's just the shower, but I could always reconfigure the shower. I don't really know how I would reconfigure the shower. That would be awkward. It's fine. This is like a wall, and this will be like spandrel glass, so you can't see through it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I love the way that that looks. I love the way that that looks. All right. Let's do... our little dormer cut. I don't know if I can get my dormer cut. Let's also copy. That would save me time. Dormer roof opening. Mirror. Mirror. Yeah, it did not work. It was like, nope, dog. It's not working. Alright. I'm going to do these last 2 dormer cuts. Alright, now I got distracted by these windows. Because now I'm like, okay, I can use them over here. They're pretty small though. They're 5 by 4. All these windows are like really big. This is 4 by 8. Let's do... oh, it's actually 4 by 4. I didn't update it. I broke my own rule. Okay, so let's do a 4'8" height by a 6 foot width. 6 foot for 2 windows might be a little bit much, but we'll see. We'll see. That's okay. And then put it like right there. I want the middle and the middle here to line up, but I don't think I can actually select that on the window. Oh, I could. That's exciting. All right. Let's change this text to be 4'8" by 6, 4'8" by 6. That is good for now. I don't know exactly where this is gonna go, but put it like right there. We'll need a smaller one there. It's the size of the bathroom. We'll do singles, but it's fine. Let me do these dormer cuts, and then we can move on. Whoops. Gotta do the inside of the walls, and then do trim, 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 trim. All right, repeat the process. Dormer, pick, pick, pick. Copying everything over though definitely made it a lot easier and a lot quicker. Looking good. Let's take this wall and attach it to the roofs. Attach. Oh my goodness, I keep missing. attach. Right, and then I want this to be a single window. This is actually the bathroom. I don't know why it says storage bathroom. All right, let's take this and do a single casement 4x8x3. So let's duplicate this and do 4x8x3, which would be one panel of the two doubles, one window of the two doubles. So 4x8 and the height, oh, just kidding, 3x4x8. So that is good. And then we have this, we can put this in here. We need to change this to be 211. And then we need to change this to only have 2 lights on. And I think that's looking pretty good for now. I might try and do like a projection on the front just to sort of separate this transition. But we'll see. I think that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the progress we made today, and I'm excited to continue this next week. We are going to be almost done with adding the windows next week. I'm really excited. The dormer stuff was cool. I'm glad we got into that today, and yeah, we'll add the rest of the windows in, and then we will start adding some elements on the outside. I think I'm going to make this protrude a little bit, add more details to the roof, and just keep developing this. But we are going to finish up with the windows most likely next week. Looks like a face in the back. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me this week. I look forward to seeing you next week where we continue designing my dream home. All right.